There's some critics out there who criticize Nick Saban players coming out of Alabama for limping into the NFL. Maybe they've used up a little bit. Nick Saban, I don't think he forces these guys to play, but I think the competition here is if you've got a bump or a bruise, you're not able to sit on the bench because there's another 5-star waiting in the wings to take your playing time. Is it fair to criticize Nick Saban for some of these guys, like Derrick Henry, 45 carries, 38 carries, 42 carries throughout the season? He broke records here, 396 total carries. Is it fair to criticize Nick Saban for overusing his players?
I really fall on the fence that it's not, and here's the reason why. As long as I know that any coach, and I'm not going to use Coach Saban as the only example, that any coach is not sending a kid out that's not medically cleared, that's not ready to play, if you're not forcing them to go against their will. This is college football, and his job is to do what's best for the University of Alabama. Is there some, sense that, hey, you got to make sure you're looking out for these kids? Yes, there is, but not at the expense of trying to win games for the greater good. Yeah, Derrick Henry's odometer went up this year, but I think he had a very low odometer his first 3 years.
He did.
Okay, splitting carries, T.J. Yeldon, right? Kenyon Drake, other players were there. So this year the odometer went up, and it was 1 year of heavy production. I don't think the pros are as worried about that with him. They're more worried about his upright running style than they are about the number of carries he had at Alabama the last year, because the pros do a good job of knowing the totality. If he had that same workload for 3 years, 4 years at Bama, now we got something to talk about. But again, would that be on the coach? I don't know that that's necessarily true. And now, if you told me he was carrying it 45 times and they were winning 60-0, then I'd worry about what they were doing over there. But he's carrying it to win an SEC championship, right? A college football semifinal and a college football championship game.
But Charles, you hear it.
John, listen, we've heard it forever, and you hear it all the time about the Bama kids. And I know Coach Saban's sick of hearing it, and he's not very happy about it. He doesn't believe it to be true. I've heard plenty of reports where he's expressed himself loudly to NFL scouts and personnel about, you guys are saying some of the narrative about my program that's just simply not true. But you look at Alabama kids, they play so tough, they practice tough, they do all those things. You have injuries that occur. They get a little more magnified than others because they're one of the leading programs in the nation. My guess is that if you really put the microscope on a bunch of them, they wouldn't be the only ones that would have to answer those questions.